What is the worst thing you've ever witnessed? At work we had a guy running jackhammer who likes showing off. Boss told him countless times to turn the jackhammer off before moving it forward. The guy insisted on bouncing it forward and walking while using it. Eventually he stepped forward, it didn't, and the steel-toe shoe flattened and he lost half his foot. I'll never forget the scream. The guy didn't get any workers' comp for it either, due to it being his own negligence and being officially written up for the behavior twice prior. I sat by my wife as she passed away from cancer. She was only 48. I had to raise my kids alone. It was 8 years ago and we're still healing. A dad being genuinely cruel to his kid in public. Just humiliating him for no reason. Never forgot that guy's face. Early interest days. It's a video of a couple driving in a car, and a brick or something falls off the truck in front of them, smashing through the windshield. You don't even see anything happening. Just the sound from the husband as he realizes it has struck his wife has stuck with me my entire life. Dad dying beside me, deliriously claiming that I didn't care about him. Stillbirths as a labor and delivery nurse. Both my sisters dying from breast cancer. Child abuse scene as a school nurse. Seeing someone still alive after they have completely given up on life. Saw a guy hydroplane across 3 lanes on the highway and slide directly under a semi-truck. The sound of the metal crunching was something I'll never forget. I pulled over to help, but it was completely crushed. Had to wait around for hours just to give a police statement. I still get massive anxiety driving in the rain because of it. Tire popped off an 18-wheeler, bounced over the median and landed on a car going the opposite direction. Some Final Destination type bad luck. 15+ wires later, and still makes me a tad anxious anytime I'm driving behind a big truck. Probably the aftermath of the October 1st incident here in Vegas. I had just recently started working at a large trauma center that got most of the victims. My husband dying in front of me, like on the table surrounded by medical staff, and one on top of him trying to get his heart pumping again. Then hearing that long beep. Pensive face. I saw my dog on the ground under the terrace. She had fallen and was dying, so we took her urgently to the vet and had to euthanize her. In 2005 at the Boy Scout Jamboree in VA, 4 people died while setting up a huge tent when they accidentally hit a power line. I saw them setting up the tent, a huge white tent like for revivals, and some minutes later, coming back the other way, I saw 2 people lying on the ground. One's body was smoking. I also remember it was the summer that the 6th Harry Potter book came out because one troop started a chant, "Snape kills Dumbledore." It was an all-around not great time. My wife suffocating in the passenger seat because of a particularly severe treatment-resistant rapid-onset asthma attack while I rushed her to the ER. Or maybe the 2 weeks of coma afterwards with progressively worsening seizures caused by brain damage from oxygen deprivation. Nah. Definitely the sight of her suffocating. The person I knew died in the passenger seat, not 2 weeks later in a hospital bed. No longer. Friend of mine slapping her 8-year-old daughter in the face because she was having trouble with a math problem. Watching my mom deteriorate and die due to Alzheimer's. Growing up as a kid, hearing and watching every night for years my parents fighting and hitting each other while having to also protect my on the spectrum younger sister. When I was 7, I watched my mother, a registered nurse, attempt to revive a drowned man who had been caught under a boat while swimming in the lake. They were trying to hide me from it, but I saw the whole thing. She was attempting CPR, but it was too late. She had to stop when he started spewing up a bunch of green mucus. I watched him die on the beach. I'll never forget the dead silence in the car on the ride home. I saw a woman being publicly beaten for leaving her father's religion, Islam, in Indonesia. Everyone was either cheering for the man hitting her or swearing at her. It was awful and still makes me sick. No gore, but it stuck with me more than anything. I went for my piano lesson with the little old lady down the road. While I was there, a family that was moving in a loaded-up station wagon pulled up and dropped off their dog, which they were giving to the lady. They pulled off and the dog went nuts, howling and jumping on the desks, knocking things over. I even have trouble typing this out. It lives and charges rent in my mind to this day, and that was maybe 50 years ago. My father losing his mind to radio necrosis. The doctors pulling the plug on my dad. He was already brain dead, and they had just been keeping him going on the machines until we all got there. Then it was just us standing around saying goodbye as his vitals dropped away. Bridge jumper off Coronado Bridge. End of April 2025. It had just been finishing raining 11 a.m. Tuesday. I've seen my share of trauma IRL, but I had a friend a long time ago who was really into those dark internet corners. She sent me snuff films/images all the time, and yeah, I still think about some of them to this day. Absolutely horrible. It's been years, and I am still talking about them in therapy. At a concert, I was at 100 level. Someone from one of the upper levels fell right in front of me. The sound and the sight were brutal. The band had no idea and kept playing. I heard one of the paramedics say, "If he lives, he'll be drinking his food through a straw for the rest of his life." Totally traumatized.